Because you're a woman and you're young. But listen, you don't pay me because I am in my 20s. You pay me because I am good at what I do.
Exactly. Hello everybody, welcome to Just for Women Africa. My name is Ondiro Oganga, the founder of Just for Women Africa. And before we start the show, do not forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, tell a friend who knows a friend about Just for Women Africa. And today on the show, we have a Kenyan with us. Yes, she's going to be the second African with us on the show. We've had two Nigerians, and she's the first Kenyan with us on the show. Yeah, welcome to the show, Ondiro.
Thank you. Oh, and you got my name right. Yes, Ondiro Oganga.
Okay. Yes. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First of all, can you tell viewers a little bit about yourself? I don't want to tell them too much about you.
Okay, my name is Ondiro Oganga. I am a Kenyan who moved to Ghana in 2021 July. I currently work as the head of business desk at GH1, or rather AIP network, and I also make videos on YouTube on media, business, and lifestyle.
That's nice. Yeah, she's a YouTuber, and this is actually our first collaboration with a YouTuber.
Yeah.
All right. Can you tell us? So you've been in the country since 2021. Can you tell us what's your opinion or perception about Ghana since you've arrived as a woman?
Honestly, it's not a bad place. If I'm being honest, it's not a bad place. Ever since I came, it's something that people always say, and maybe we've gotten used to it, but it's something we should not take for granted. As a woman, I feel safe. I can walk about at night. I've never felt afraid. You know, so I can go do my shoots, leave late, go back home, and I feel safe. I have never been harassed in the streets, either physically or sexually, which is a good thing. And also my experience is every time I go to the market, the women of this country are very entrepreneurial in nature. They're hustlers. They're always hustling in traffic, in the markets, in offices. You'll find them. They're always working. They have mad work ethic. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned Ghana is quite safe, never been harassed. Is that, are you saying in Nairobi, Kenya, it's different?
Yeah, I mean, Nairobi, you're always on the guard, and I say this with so much love for my home country, but you're always on guard. You know, like there was a Ghanaian YouTuber who was shooting in Nairobi, and she got robbed, like while she was shooting, like she filmed herself getting robbed, you know. So it's a place where your guard is always up, but I feel like ever since I came to Accra, there are things that I don't have to factor in while I'm just living my daily life, and that's amazing. Yeah.
All right, so since you've been around, what have been some of your challenges since you started? I know as we were talking before before started filming, you mentioned the fact that it took you 6 months to open a bank account. Apart from that, okay, can you just tell us a bit about that and any other challenges you have faced since you've done?
I mean, being in a foreign country is not the easiest place, not just Ghana, any foreign country. Obviously, either you're a refugee or you're an immigrant. And systems world over have not evolved to get to a place where we look at people beyond their nationality or stuff like that. So there's still a lot of bureaucracies in systems that make it a little bit difficult for foreigners to settle in. I was just telling you, if you're an expert, it's easy because the whole organization has done something for you. But as immigration patterns are currently, people do not necessarily move because they have jobs. They move to go and look for opportunities, you understand? And so I think the system should rewire and adapt to that. Like if I come and tell you, I need a bank account, you should be able to say, maybe probably, how much money do you have? This is the threshold that we charge. Then what do you do? Because I remember I went to a certain bank and I said I do YouTube, and they said they do not consider that as like formal employment.
Oh,
yes,
really?
They said they wanted
oh my God.
something tangible and stuff like that, and they were like, oh, okay. So it's just, I think it's systems, and not just in Ghana but world over, adapting to the changes, patterns of movement of people, and also changes in careers and journeys. Because what I do at GH1 is the same thing I was doing on my YouTube channel. Just that my YouTube channel does not have a physical office. GH1 does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I mean, all the other challenges you find a way to acclimatize to it. When I came, language barrier was really a big issue, but now it doesn't bother me as much. Like I've just gotten used to the fact that this is their home. They're going to speak their language. I began picking words here and there, you know. So all the other things you get used to. You get used to the food, the pepper. Right now, if I eat food that doesn't have pepper, I'm like, something is missing from this food. So I think all the other things, when you're new, obviously your stress levels are so high because you're trying to adapt. And then when you settle in and you look at all the things that were giving you stress, you're like, but why were these things stressing me? It's just because your stress levels were so high based on the fact that you're in a new environment, so everything looks stressful, but in essence it's not that serious. Yeah.
That's interesting. And what do you think about the Ghanaian people? Are they friendly? Are they cocky? Are they rude?
They are my in-laws. So I have to be very careful with what I say, but I think I said this on my channel even before, like I've never met people who are more warm, more kind, more accommodating, accepting than Ghanaian people, you know. And it's not just in my partner, the gentleness is encompassed in the whole community, how people care about each other, the little they have, they share, the sense of gratitude. It's amazing. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your job with GH1. How long have you been with them for?
Since December, so it's still acclimatizing. Yeah.
Okay, and what's it like working on the business space?
It's a little bit different. When I was in Nairobi, I was just a reporter and an anchor. Now I lead a team.
Okay.
I'm the head of the business desk.
How many people do you do?
Several people. Because I do TV and I also manage the team on radio. So it's quite a good number. But it's been different. It's been different. Managing people is hard, but it's a new experience. And eventually, like I would like my YouTube channel to be an entity on its own. I would like to hire people and stuff like that, editors, cameramen, producers, and all that stuff. So I'm using this as an opportunity just to sharpen my leadership skills, so that when I'm ready to take my YouTube and my company to the next level, I will have the right skills, you know. And also people used to think that business journalism is boring, and we're breaking it down in a way that everybody can understand and relate with it, and so far most of our videos go viral, so it's a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. I mean, this is a women's channel, and you do lead the business team here in Ghana, GH1, really top TV station here in Ghana. What is your perception as a woman? What's your perception about business in Ghana as compared to East Africa, Nairobi, Kenya? Is there a huge difference in how business is done? I listened to you a couple of times on radio, and you feel like things are kind of slow in Ghana. The Ghanaians take that time. First of all, when you say Ghanaians take that time, can you define that?
Different countries move at different pace, you know. If the Rwandese come to Nairobi, they're like, you guys, you're too fast for us, you know. If we go to Rwanda, we're like, this place is too slow. So different countries move at different paces. It's just the same way if you go to New York, it's madness. If you go to, say, Florida, they chill, or Miami. So different countries move at different paces, but along the way you acclimatize, you know. The people who leave Nairobi to go to Rwanda just so that they can breathe, because they're tired of the chaos. So for a long time, all I knew were chaos, you know. We're always in a rush, we're always in a haste. There's the way Kenyans do things, but cultures are different, people are different. The more you stay here, the more you appreciate it, you know. Like, now I look at it, it's like if you're asking someone to take you somewhere, say a driver, and they say, no, I'm close, I'm going home. In Kenya, nobody would ever tell you that. They'd be like, okay, let's go, they're making money. But on the flip side, your family is going to have dinner without you. Yeah, so here, if the guy is going home, he's going to have dinner with his family, which is still a win.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, with your experience of, of course, you're in business, you've been doing it for a very long time. What can you really tell about the Ghana economy? Are things going to improve? Are things going to get better? I mean, people right now are in the move of
No, don't put me in that position. Ask the government. Ask Me, I am small fish.
But you have the statistics. I'm sure you read them
wait, the government is arresting journalists now. Hey, we have to be very careful with what we say. We have to be very careful with what we say. Anything economics, we will wait for Ken Oforieta and Nana Akufo-Addo to comment on that. But in general, I think Ghanaians are doing their level best to survive. And I was telling people, Ghanaians have chosen peace. It's a deliberate thing. They've chosen peace. They've chosen to work so hard. They've chosen to be resilient.
Okay.
And that's what keeps this country going. You know, like we were talking before. You'll meet a Ghanaian, they have a job, they have several side hustles, they're trying to make ends meet, you know. So people are just trying to get by and to survive when they have children, but they have to feed and put through school. So I'm just seeing people becoming more and more aggressive and just hustling to survive because it's rough. But again, the roughness is not just here, it cuts across the board. Gas prices are high in US, in UK, in Kenya, everywhere, in Nigeria, in Togo. It is what is happening currently in the world. There are people who are lucky enough that they have governments that are cushioning them, but there are people who their governments don't cushion them. So I think for those then they're just trying to survive. The statistics, the numbers, we know that the government. I mean, it's a job. They'll tell us or they'll lie to us. They'll decide which one. Yeah.
No, that's not true. Okay, guys, you're still watching Just for Africa. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend who knows a friend about Just for Africa. And today on the show, we have a Kenyan on the show with the name of Ondiro.
Yes.
I got her name right, yes. And she is Kenyan. She's been in Ghana since 2021. Yes. She heads the business desk at a very well-known TV station here in Ghana, GH1. And she happens to be on the show today, and we're talking about her life, and business in general in West Africa and in Kenya. All right. So, can you tell us what is it like doing business in East Africa in Kenya?
Rough. It's rough. The business environment. Here's the thing that I always tell people. When you hear presidents go out there and they say, "Come invest in my country," please do not believe them. Go to that country and see for yourself. Kenya has its advantages and disadvantages, but sometimes the disadvantages cut way too deep, you know. Well, the World Bank would say the ease of doing business index, Kenya is rising every single year, and it's easier to do business in Kenya. But the people who do business there are struggling, you know. The government doesn't have a stable tax policy. They need taxes every single day. The cost of electricity per kilowatt is very high for businesses, you know. Government bureaucracy, the amount of licenses you need, the amount of bribing you have to do to get things done. It's crazy. But is it a good market? Yes. Labor is very competitive. Kenyans are really good at their job, you know. If you look at also the market reception of your product, if your product is good, it's going to get good patronage. Exactly. If it's made from Kenya, then there's that reputation that precedes it, then it will do well even in the international market. But all these factors notwithstanding, you have people like Cadbury leaving Nairobi to take their production to Egypt because the cost of production is just too high. When Ethiopia came in, they lured in people with, which was a smart incentive. They said you can arrive today at the airport and we will process everything, your work permit, residence permit, licenses. They streamlined everything today. Tomorrow you can start work.
Are you serious?
So everybody, yes. So everybody wanted to go to Ethiopia to do business, and labor was also very cheap. The cost of labor was slightly cheaper, but you get there and all these things are working. But also, the country has its own challenges, you know. So you'd see some people go to Ethiopia, then come back to Kenya, and that's not to say Kenya is superior than Ethiopia. Ethiopia is superior to Kenya. It just goes to show that African countries need to streamline the business environment, and not just for foreign investors, but also for local investors. Because for example, this cuts across the board, all African countries. We give tax incentives to foreigners who come in here. Say, Mars Wrigley want to come and invest here, Skittles, M&M. You're giving them tax breaks of importing, say, their machinery, VAT tax breaks. To be honest, they don't need it because they have the money.
Exactly.
They have the budget to do it. What you can do for Mars Wrigley is ensure by the time their goods come, they're cleared very first at the port in Tama, so they can get to the warehouse. Within the day that they dock, that very day they go to the warehouse and to the factory, so that tomorrow work begins. Those guys are looking for efficiency so they can start making their money back. But for a local investor, they could do with that tax break.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you tell a local business that I'm going to save you 17% or 12% VAT so you can import this machinery for free, that's a very small business. You've saved a lot of money. That money could go into expanding the business, paying staff, getting more raw materials. So governments really need to rethink and reprioritize. People are coming and people are leaving because they feel like you've sold them a facade. There are several good things, but the things that are not going well are many. And who wants to do business in a place that they will not make their money back?
Yeah, it's kind of good. That's true. I remember you mentioned something about the tax system in Kenya, because I have a friend in Peli who works outside. I don't know if it's outside Nairobi, and he owns a bakery. And he was saying before you can make wheat bread or sugar bread or whatever, you have to have certification for each one of those. And he was like, in Ghana, you just wake up as a bakery, you can bake any bread. But then in Kenya, it's not like that. You need
so many permits. You need health permit. You harmonize all these things. And this just goes back to what I'm saying. Like, help businesses help you. Unemployment rates in not just Kenya, not just Ghana, not just South Africa, in Africa are so high. Africa is a very young continent. Our median age is not even 20.
True.
So it means majority of the people on this continent are very young. Statistics will tell you government can only employ 3% of the total population. Private sector employs about 13%. To mean all these other guys are left in the informal sector. So create a level playing field for everybody. You know, if someone is in the informal sector, can you harmonize the taxes for them? Can you, not rather the taxes, but the permits and licenses that you need for business, so that if you're into food, you can just get one permit. No, you have to pay for water, electricity, and this permits that you have to get music, you have to pay for health, you have to pay for NEMA, environment. Harmonize all these things so that I can just pay and say it's just a permit to operate in this business and I'm done. If it's the business environment, harmonize taxes, because private businesses are suffering. The government wakes up every single day, and this is all African governments. They wake up, they think of what new tax can we impose on these people, they hit you with it. What happens is these businesses are not making profit and they keep taking the little that they're making. What you're doing is you're working really hard to ensure that money won't go around the system. Because these people want to get pay raises, the businesses want to expand. People choose to shut down businesses, cut your losses and go for what? So it will take streamlining of the system, doing a differential diagnosis, saying, what does the private sector need? What does the informal sector need? And then I think that's just the only way.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. Okay guys, you're still watching Just for Women Africa. My name is Ondiro Oganga, the founder of Just for Women Africa. And today we have a Kenyan on the show with the name of Ondiro.
Yes.
Do I get a gold medal at the end of the show for pronouncing her name right? And if you hear, she's talking about herself, what's been like being in Ghana since she arrived in 2021. What's like working here. She works in one of the best TV stations.
You can just say the best.
One of the best TV stations in Ghana, GH1. She heads the business desk. Okay, Ondiro. So you've been around since 2021. What's the future for Ondiro?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I'm being very fluid, going with the flow, seeing where life takes me. I mean, the last couple of years have done a number on me. I used to have a plan of how my life would look like, and then things changed a lot. Things changed in the worst of ways that I could never imagine, and things changed in the best of ways that I could never imagine. So now it's going with the flow. One thing that I will keep doing is putting in work. Every day that I wake up and choose to go to GH1, I'm going to do my best to become the best editor at GH1. Lead my team with kindness, nurture their individual talent so that that work can radiate, you know. I'm going to keep researching, putting in work on my YouTube to see where it goes, you know. I will also keep trying to slow myself down, rest, enjoy bits and pieces of life, just go easy on myself. So right now I don't have like a mega plan, no, and I don't even think I have the strength to put anything on paper. I'm just going with the flow and putting in work. Yeah, and it's okay sometimes to be uncertain of what your life is going to look like, because it's nearly impossible for me to plan my life around Ghana, because my life here depends on permits that are very expensive, at least $2,200.
For what?
Residency and work permits.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For a year, or how's that work?
Yeah, a year. And the Ghanaian companies, if you're not being paid expert, then you're not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you think of investment and return on investment, is not very promising. But again, my partner lives here, and being here with him every day is just pure joy. I wouldn't have thought of it any other way. So I am sort of settling and still in transition. So I always tell myself, a year is a long time. By the time October comes, a few things would have fallen in places, others would have fallen out of places, and I'll have better clarity of what my future holds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're already Ghanaian, your partner is Ghanaian, so I mean, you're going to be here forever. So get used to the environment.
I miss home. I miss home so much. I miss speaking the local language, Swahili. Yeah, I miss that a lot. I miss Kenyan music, authentic Kenyan music, like our high life.
Okay. Nameless and rest of them.
Yes, but Nameless is like pop. I miss the traditional artists, and it hits different when you're listening to traditional music at home.
Okay.
You know, I miss the long drives home. I miss the green grass and the trees. I miss my siblings. I miss my parents. I miss the food. I cook here the food, but it doesn't taste the same.
Really?
Yeah.
How you will be able to get around with the food? You get to eat your chapati?
No, I haven't made chapos yet. I haven't made chapondengu yet, but I've made ugali, sukuma wiki.
Oh, where do you get the flour from?
Supermarket.
Does it taste the same as?
Almost. Yeah, it's not far. So far. So at least it's helping, but I just want to eat Kenyan food again. So yeah, I've missed home. So I cannot say that I've moved here permanently, because I miss home, and I'll always be Kenyan, irrespective of where I go or who I marry. I'll always be Kenyan.
Okay, you heard it from Ondiro herself. She said she will be Kenyan, but once her partner is Ghanaian, she'll be giving up that soon very soon. Okay, Ondiro, we're about to round up, and what advice? I mean, I'll ask every woman who comes on the show this question. Women say it's difficult, it's a man's world, men take advantage of them sexually, there's lots of barriers in front of them, and they just can't, you go to a company, the board of directors, where you have like 10 board of directors, only one slot is meant for a woman. There's going to a woman, there's issues of equal pay, the males tend to get more paid than the women. But what advice can you give out to the African women out there? I mean, you've been able to, you're making it, some other women are making it or have made it. What advice can you give out to them?
I don't know, honestly. I just feel like women go through a lot of things that words can never do justice to.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time you see a woman has risen through the ranks, she's been through it. So honestly, there are no words that can ever be soothing balm to prepare you for how life is going to be. there's no advice. It's just do your thing, sis. Just be you, do your thing. Just that, because it's not it's not easy being a woman and wanting some things for yourself, being ambitious and being driven and all those things, you know. And for a long time, women have always been told, do this, do this. It's just time women are left alone to figure their way out and decide, this is what works for me and this is now what works for me. So just stay true to who you are and find what works for you and stick with that, because only you know how easy or how difficult it is to be you. Yeah.
And issues in equal pay, I mean, there's been that conversation globally. Do you think that will change? Do you think women will wake up one day and have equal pay as the male counterparts? Or it's going to be a long fight?
If organizations truly wanted to do it, they would be doing it.
Okay, that's a good point.
What's holding them back? Yeah?
Yeah.
There was once I was interviewing a certain lady, she's a CEO, and she was like, when I went to the interview, she went to the interview, they weren't offering her as a competitive offer because he said she's a woman and obviously she doesn't have a family to take care of. And he said, listen, I am divorced. And despite the fact that I'm divorced, my ex-husband died. So I am the sole breadwinner of my family. So what do you mean when you say I don't have responsibilities? And that notwithstanding, if I spent the same amount of time going to school, same amount of money to educate myself, almost twice amount the effort because of the hurdles that women have to go through to get the job done, you should just pay me my worth. I have turned down jobs that weren't paying me my fair share, but I did that from a point of privilege because I had a backup plan.
Okay.
Not many women have backup plans.
Okay.
Yeah? Not many women have savings, not many women have families that they can lean on. So sometimes they're left in a corner. But personally, I have made a conscious decision that unless I'm in a very tight fix, like when I came to Ghana, my paperwork was running out. I had no option but to take a job in order to be able to get a residency permit. But before we came on air, I told you once my residency permit expires, I'm not working for any other person who won't pay me nothing less than my worth. Because I'm a good journalist. I've gone to some of the best schools in the world. I put in the work. Every clip that we make at G1 is going viral. So any other person that will want to work with me beyond October when my paperwork with GH1 expires, because I use them as my employer at immigration, you'll pay me every single coin that I deserve. But I can say that from a point of privilege because I have something to lean back on.
Sure.
How many women can do that? But for me, I recently did a gig with a certain organization and I know how much they pay. And when the contract came, the first year I did the gig with them, they paid me what I was supposed to be paid. The second year, somebody was trying to shortchange me or something, and they gave me 3 times less. And I went back to the organization and say, look, I'm not signing this paperwork, and that was such a risk because it means that next year I might not be called.
Exactly.
So people were like, you're probably young, just take it next year. I said, no. I was shooting my vlogs, acclimatizing in a foreign country. My stress levels were beyond 100, and I still was able to do the job that they asked me to do to the best of my ability. So I should be paid what I'm worth. I sent an email and I said, this is what you paid me last year, this is what you're offering me this year, and honestly, vis-a-vis the work that I did for you, I cannot accept this pay. So they said, oh, we've already done the contracts and stuff. I said, okay, I made a mental note and I just said, it's okay, I'm never working with you ever again, if you'll insist on paying me that. So later on when I went to the bank, I found that they paid me what I was actually supposed to be paid, which I am grateful for. But again, I'm not grateful for because that's what I'm worth. I worked for that money, so pay me. So whether they call me or not is okay, but I stood my ground. And the next person who comes in, this is the red card, pay me or adios. Because at times nobody is gonna, if people wanted to pay women what they actually are worth, they would have. So women who can come from a point of privilege can say, moving forward, no more. So even for me, no matter how difficult it is, and that's what I was telling you, I'll keep putting in work on my YouTube and building my brand aside from YouTube, so that by next year I can be able to just fully depend on my YouTube channel. To mean that whoever wants to hire me, I'm not coming from a point of I really need this. I'm like, do I want to work with you?
Oh, that's interesting. The organization you spoke about, was that in Ghana here?
No, an international organization. That's the funny thing. It was an international organization.
So what, did they give you a reason? Was it a situation of they didn't have enough funding?
No,
or business had been
somebody
bad for
was
the week?
trying to shortchange me because you're a woman and you're young. But listen, you don't pay me because I am in my 20s. You pay me because I am good at what I do.
Exactly.
You know, even if I take 10 minutes to do the job, you're not paying me because I took 10 minutes. You're paying me because I am so good that I take 10 minutes to get the job done.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because by the time, say a job takes an hour to do, and I become so good at it that I can do it in 10 minutes, the amount of money and time that has gone to sharpen my skills to get me there is a lot. So you're paying for that investment.
That's true.
But I can say that from a point of privilege. That's what I'll keep repeating and repeating and repeating again. And when I didn't have privilege, I found that I had to feel how other people feel. And it's a conversation I've had with my partner. I've been in situations where I'm like, I honestly don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. But because I am in a fix, I have to do it. And it's just one time. But that's how majority of women feel all the time. Suffering, and we've sensationalized paying women less, and we've glorified their suffering. You know, I don't want to be a strong woman. I don't want to be a hardworking woman. I want to be a woman who lives a soft life because she's paid her worth and only does what she's supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Well, so thank you for coming on the show, Ondiro.
Thank you for having me. When I came, I was just like, I want to be chill, but you know how to ask those questions that get me worked up. But I always say, take everything that I say with a pinch of salt. If it resonates with you, well and good. If it doesn't, that's just my opinion. I'm not forcing it down for it. You know, you can comment down below and tell us what your opinion is.
Okay.
If it's a contrary one.
Okay, one more last question though. I mean, you're in Ghana for, of course, you're in Georgia. Do you have you seen any business opportunities you'd like to tap into Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Name?
But what's the fun in telling you? You just see it. You'll see the product. I'll invite you to a product launch and stuff. But I want to venture into consultancy. I don't think I can sell products, but I can sell a service.
Okay.
That's something that when I was leaving my job in Nairobi, my financial advisor kept saying, what can you do? What can you do? And I was like, I'm just a journalist. I'm not a business person. I can't sell. And so it's like people confuse business with just goods.
Okay.
It's goods and services.
Okay.
So I am an expert in a certain field.
Okay.
What services can I sell of my expertise?
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to hone.
Okay, that's
interesting.
Okay, Ondiro.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's
Ondiro.
good.
Yes. All right. But today we're going to close the show in Swahili first. Yeah. Tell them. See you to the next show. Keep on watching Just for
My Swahili is not very great. In the Swahili, we mix Swahili with English when you're speaking, right?
Yeah. Let's say something.
Asanteni kwa kuwatch show. Tutaona tena next week, same place, same time. Usikose kwenda hapo chini, the red button, click it, subscribe, and if you like this video, I mean, there's more on this channel, so do the thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Bye. That was great.
Thank you.